Hey everybody, meteorologist Sarah Gannon here with your first alert weather update. Certainly some quieter conditions out there today after receiving some beneficial moisture here the last 2 days. Some good rainfall, heavy rainfall at times, and of course that severe weather that we had on Sunday. So not the greatest news there, but the moisture we certainly needed. Looking here at radar estimated rainfall amounts in the last 24 hours, quite a bit of beneficial moisture. A lot of spots, potentially upwards of a quarter to half of an inch of rainfall on the minimum side. Some spots potentially over an inch of rainfall here in the last couple of days. So certainly a lot more moisture on the way here for the region. But as we look at temperatures in the area here at this point in time, a lot colder here today compared to the last few days where we were enjoying those highs in the 70s and the 80s. Today, struggling to hit that 50-degree mark in many locations. So low 50s at this point in time, and still quite a bit of cloud cover here as we check in with your Lewis Donato live camera network. So we are expecting to see more sunshine here in the coming days, and we're hoping to see that sun peek through those clouds here this evening, later this afternoon, I should say, but not quite looking to pan out just as we had expected. So future track radar, those cloudy but quiet sky overhead. We will be looking at some gradual clearing here later on tonight, and looking forward to some really nice sunshine here on the way for tomorrow. So look at that hour-by-hour forecast here tonight. Still pretty cloudy. Temperatures continuing to stay on the chilly side in those lower 50s. Wind should hold pretty steady as well, about 5 to 15 miles per hour. So looking at a quiet but chilly evening here for the region as we look ahead to tomorrow's outlook, bringing in more of that sunshine, especially for the morning hours. So we will get to start off the day with a little sun, and then as we head into the afternoon time frame, temperatures warming up into those upper 50s, low 60s. So improvement compared to today temperature-wise. However, we will be looking at some cloud cover building back in tomorrow evening. So overall, a quieter rest of the week in store, but we may still see a couple rain chances here in the next 7 to 10 days. So we'll talk more about those forecast details and a look ahead at what's in store for the rest of this weekend. But of course, a sneak peek at that weekend forecast looking very nice for the region. More on those first alert forecast details are ahead later on in the broadcast. Midwest Access. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Midwest Access. I'm meteorologist Sarah Gannon. A quiet, chilly, and a bit more of a gray Tuesday here for us in the region as we come off of what has been a bit more of an active weekend for the region. Things much quieter here as we enter into the midweek and transition towards the late week too. Skies are pretty cloudy here at this point in time. Not seeing as much clearing as we had anticipated yesterday. Lewis Donato live camera look outside here. You can see plenty of that cloud cover. Temperatures, I'm sure you've noticed, rather chilly today compared to the 70s and even 80s we've been enjoying so far the last few days. Today, though, 50s. Temperatures even struggling just to hit that 50-degree mark in some locations. Dew points a lot drier, more comfortable into those 40s. Wind speeds, though, have been a bit breezy here today, especially at this point in time towards La Crosse, Winona, Decorah, Charles City, where we have gusts right now upwards of 25 miles per hour. So a little bit on the cooler side. Well, it's on the cooler side here today. The good news is temperatures, though, transitioning a little bit warmer, especially by next week. Things will feel much more summer-like. Sky conditions, as you can see, though, pretty cloudy here across the southern Minnesota and northern Iowa as we check in with your future track radar. Zooming out, you can see the cold fronts that brought some of those thunderstorms through the area yesterday. That now to our east. So that means that cooler, drier air mass filtering in overhead. Off to the west, we do have high pressure building in, so quiet weather today, and ultimately we will be looking at some clearing later tonight and especially into the first half of tomorrow. However, a chance maybe at a little bit more rain possible come Friday. Some isolated showers are possible, but not a huge weather maker. So some good news there that we do get to enjoy some dry days, but we do also get to take advantage of some much needed rainfall for the area. Looking at your first alerts the rest of tonight, things will be on the quiet and cloudy side. It'll be chilly as well. Maybe a couple sprinkles cannot be ruled out before midnight, but we will be looking at a little bit of some sunshine by tomorrow morning. The rest of this week, temperatures continuing to stay below average. We bring in that shower chance for Friday, as I previously mentioned. Looking ahead to the holiday weekend, looking much more summer-like as we kick off the unofficial starts of summer. Memorial Day next Monday, so just shy of a week now. Looking at those temperatures, as I mentioned, we're talking about 60s, so below average for highs here through the end of the work week into the start of the weekend. 70s and 80s heading into that holiday weekend here, Sunday, Monday, and into Tuesday. Looking at that long-range forecast here, Climate Prediction Center does anticipate things through the holiday weekend there to be above average, and that does transition there through at least the first couple days there of June. So much warmer, more summer-like conditions here on the way for the region. Tomorrow, looking at high temperatures into those lower 60s. Warmer than today, still below average though. Here's a look at that 10-day forecast, enjoying some 60s, some 70s, and ultimately 80s on the way for next week. So very spring-like this week. Next week, much more summer-like. That's a look at your first alert weather. Here's one more look at that 10-day forecast, looking at a cooler, below average rest of the week for us here in southern Minnesota and northern Iowa, with high temperatures there maxing out into those lower, maybe mid 60s. So very spring-like here the next couple of days. Transitioning though, looking at that extended forecast, we're looking at more summer-like conditions with temperatures returning into the 80s by Memorial Day on Monday. Warming up just in time for the unofficial start of summer. Chief Meteorologist Nick Jansen will have all those latest forecast details and what's in store in that forecast next at 5. We certainly saw some much cooler conditions across the area today. Highs, though, reflecting a different story. We certainly had those warm conditions last night. So our high temperatures here for today, upper 50s to mid 60s. And again, high temperatures were reached very early in the day. Notice off to the west there, temps in the 50s. That's what we saw during the daytime hours. So certainly a cooler feeling day. And we're sticking with that cooler trend here for the next few days. Tomorrow, expecting temperatures into the upper 50s, low 60s. So a little closer to average, but still on the below average trend. We'll see a little sunshine there for the morning hours before we see some cloud cover back in the region once again by the afternoon. Heading into the next few days, continuing with our cooler than average trend here through the end of the work week. The weekend, though, just in time for Memorial Day on Monday, kind of our unofficial kickoff to summer. Things will feel a lot more summer-like, especially heading into next week. 80s on the way. So excited to show you that 10-day forecast.
All right, thank you, Sarah. We'll check back in soon.
And we should be looking at some cloud cover gradually clearing here for the overnight hours, expecting to see a bit of some sun for the first half of our Wednesday before we see more clouds building in by the later afternoon. Expecting cooler than average temperatures to continue for tomorrow. However, the good news is tracking temps near about that 60-degree mark versus those lower 50s. So looking forward to a more warmth, though, just in time for the holiday weekend. More on this first alert forecast details next.
Your first alert weather with meteorologist Sarah Gannon.
Seeing some quiet conditions out there today, a chance for all that good moisture we've seen in the last few days kind of settle in and soak in a bit. Things staying on the chilly side, though, heading into tonight, and we'll continue to stay with those cooler temperatures the next few days. So tonight's cloudy but quiet and staying below average, as I mentioned here for the upcoming week. We will watch the chance for a few showers come Friday. So the good news is not seeing any first alert days here in the next 7 to 10 days, and no major systems on the way either. Of course, that can always change, but for now, just keeping an eye on just that solo chance for some rain showers come Friday. The holiday weekend, though, temperatures looking to do a 180. We'll feel a lot more summer-like here as we head into the holiday weekend and Memorial Day, often kind of the unofficial kickoff to the start of summer. So temperatures will be acting more summer-like. Sky conditions pretty quiet out here at this point in time as we check in with your future track radar. Starting to see a little clearing west of I-35. So looking to see some gradual clearing here later on tonight. As we take a look at surface map here, notice that cold front well off to our east. High pressure building in from the west, and there's all of that clearing sky back towards the Dakotas, Nebraska, even back towards Wyoming and Montana. So looking forward to a little more sunshine here in the next few days. I did mention there is a chance for some rain showers come Friday, isolated at this point in time here for Friday. But aside from that, things pretty quiet here over the next 7 to 10 days. We may have to watch later next week, Thursday and Friday there, a chance at some isolated rain activity. But at least this time around, it's not back-to-back-to-back systems. It's an opportunity to kind of have some breaks between those rain chances, allow all that good moisture to soak in before we see our next system. But temperatures certainly looking to reflect more warmth here in the coming days as we take a look at that temperature outlook from the Climate Prediction Center heading into the holiday weekend here. Temperatures looking to range anywhere from around 70 to 80% chance they're seeing above average temperatures, and it looks to stick with us here. That warmth heading into next week, the next 2 weeks. looking out towards those first couple days of June, about an 80 to 90% chance of seeing above average temperatures. So looking to something to look forward to after tomorrow, which will be more of a cooler day. Look ahead to your Wednesday, tracking some sunshine on the way for the first half of the day. Cloud cover gradually increasing throughout the afternoon. And I think the Rochester area right around that 59, 60, 61 degree mark here for those afternoon highs, upper 50s to low 60s. Elsewhere here in southern Minnesota, northern Iowa, those temperatures holding more so towards the upper 50s to low 60s. Well, like I said, we will get that sunshine in the morning, clouds building back in by the afternoon. And here's a look at that 10-day forecast. As I mentioned, we are looking at temperatures to stay below average in the 50s and 60s here through the end of this work week. Temperatures, though, climbing into the upper 60s, low 70s here, or upper 70s, high Saturday and Sunday. Memorial Day there on Monday. Certainly feeling a lot more summer-like. Low 80s back in the forecast. It looks like we could be looking at more of those summer-like feeling like conditions there, low to mid 80s on the way there.
Well, they say Memorial Day kicks off summertime, and that forecast is certainly reflecting that.
Absolutely, just in time.
Thanks, Sarah.
Looking at a rather quiet stretch of weather here over the next 7 to 10 days. Maybe a couple rain chances sprinkled in here and there, but no major systems on the way. No alert days on the way either. Some good news there after what has been an active weekend here for the region. Looking ahead to your Wednesday, temperatures still staying below average. Some low 60s on the way. We should be able to bump up to those mid 60s by Thursday, but still sticking with that below average trend here through Friday and Saturday. Changes, though, on the way by Sunday, extending into early next week, just in time for Memorial Day there on Monday, gearing up for more summer-like conditions throughout next week with high temperatures into the 80s. Conditions will certainly feel more summer-like as we head into that, as we kick off that unofficial start to summer there on Memorial Day. Nick? We are looking ahead to a beautiful stretch of weather here over the next week and a half, gearing up for still though some cooler than average temperatures heading into the rest of this week. Temperatures staying in those lower, maybe mid 60s here through tomorrow and Thursday. Friday, a tad cooler, some upper 50s to low 60s, but we will be monitoring a rain chance for Friday, especially towards the afternoon into the evening hours. Things, though, starting to change, trending warmer heading into this weekend, just in time for the holiday here, Memorial Day on Monday. And often kind of our unofficial kickoff to summer, and temperatures certainly will reflect those summer-like conditions here starting next week, extending through the end of next week, really. Temperatures should be staying in those lower mid 80s, so it certainly will feel a lot more summer-like. We may have a couple rain chances here sprinkled in over the next 7 to 10 days. So I think having a little bit of a break between rain chances, and at this point in time, no major systems on the horizon. And as you saw there, no first alert days on tap. So I think some good news there. We get a little moisture, let it soak in for a bit, but we also have some nice warmer conditions to look ahead to next weekend. A good 7 to 10 days here, I think.
Like you said, I mean, a great forecast. We get a mix of everything, some cooler temperatures, some rain, and some 80-degree summer-like weather.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us tonight. Your morning news starts at 4:30.